What if Muzan didn't transfer his blood into Nezuko after the attack, and she died from her injuries? How different would the story be with Tanjiro's main motivation gone? Without Nezuko there to support him and be a constant source of motivation, would Tanjiro even have the determination to become a demon slayer? Well, I found 3 different theories that could explain how the story continues. And in the first theory, Tanjiro enters a deep depression and lives a secluded life in the mountains, taking over his family home and continuing the business of selling charcoal. He would bury his family honorably and try to grieve, and over the years, he would slowly move on with his life and start anew. The people within the village already appreciate and respect him, so they might band together to help him out of his grief and depression, eventually allowing him to go on and live a happier, albeit empty life, as a normal charcoal seller in the mountains. While this ending may seem sweet at first, it leads to a lot of problems down the road for the rest of the world. As we all know from the core leader Kaguya, that Nezuko and Tanjiro are the only hope of the Demon Slayers defeating Muzan. Well, without them there to help in a lot of the battles, the Hashira would slowly be wiped out as Muzan continues to grow the number of demons and bring higher level and more powerful demons into the upper and lower ranked moons. Especially considering that there are no real threats to him or his plans besides the Hashira and the Demon Slayer Corps, there's no reason for him to come out of hiding and reveal himself. Instead, he continues turning people into demons and killing anyone who gets in his way. Eventually, he might even create a demon that's immune to sunlight. Once he finds this demon, humanity is no longer safe, as that'll complete Muzan's main goal of becoming immortal. With that, he comes out of hiding and launches a surprise attack on the unsuspecting Demon Slayer Corps, with his powerful subordinates completely overpowering them. With no one to stop him, he then goes on to completely eradicate humanity and create a world filled with demons. That's a depressing end to the Demon Slayer story, but that's on the off chance that Tanjiro completely ignores anything involving the Demon Slayer Corps. Now let's look at a second theory. In this new theory, after Tanjiro finds his family killed, he falls into a state of depression and rage. In the original scene, Tanjiro notices that his sister is still warm and carries her away, frantically searching for help. But in this scenario, Tanjiro has no reason to run and instead kneels on the ground, mourning his deceased family. Eventually, Giyu, who was already searching for a demon nearby, finds him in this depressed and enraged state. Giyu notices the passion and anger in Tanjiro's gaze, and gives him some passing advice to go and meet his former master and trainer if he wants to learn the ways in which he can take revenge for his family. As Giyu leaves, Tanjiro buries his family and mourns them. Then he listens to the advice of the passing swordsman and goes off to find Urokodaki, in the hopes of being trained as a demon slayer. Urokodaki decides to take Tanjiro under his wing and train him for the next 2 years. In the original timeline, Tanjiro trains with hope and resolve in his heart, with the drive to rescue his sister. In this timeline, however, Tanjiro trains with nothing but anger and vengeance on his mind. This makes him come off as a little more volatile in his fighting style. While he still has a calm and passionate personality towards others, the death of his sister at the hands of the demons makes him entirely ruthless toward demons, and he hates all of them for what they have done. After passing the Demon Slayer exam, Tanjiro would then continue his journey as a Demon Slayer, gaining more experience and skill and slowly reaching his highest potential. Over time, without the compassion he originally had for demons, Tanjiro would be more single-minded in his pursuit of the demon that killed his family. Eventually, he makes it to Tokyo, and just like in the canon story, he catches a scent familiar to that of the demon he smelt when he came up to meet his dead family. He chases after it relentlessly and eventually catches up to Muzan, who's immediately ticked off by the sight of Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings. Tanjiro, enraged, asks Muzan if he's the one who killed his family, and Muzan is unconcerned, knowing that he's killed so many people in pursuit of the perfect demon over the years that he doesn't answer Tanjiro's question. Tanjiro, in his rage, rushes Muzan in hopes of killing off the demon and avenging his family, but easily gets wiped out and killed by Muzan, who's still enraged by the earrings. In the first 2 theories, Tanjiro is either too distraught or too angry to properly perform as a demon slayer, and due to this, Muzan comes out on top every time. Let's see if things will change for the better in our third theory. To make things a little more unique this time, let's switch up events a little bit. This question has been what would happen if Nezuko was not turned into a demon, and other than dying in Muzan's attack on Tanjiro's family, there's one other way Nezuko could survive the attack. So in this theory, Nezuko survives the attack and avoids becoming a demon by not even being at home at all. She goes with Tanjiro down to the village to help him sell charcoal. Just like in the canon story, Muzan comes over and plays a game of slice and dice with the Kamado family. Tanjiro and Nezuko come back from their trip, find the deceased bodies of their family, and mourn for them. Just like in the last theory, Giyu comes up the mountain and finds the 2 survivors of the attack crying and mourning over the dead bodies of their family. He apologizes for not being able to save them, and tells the siblings that this was most likely done by a demon attack. Tanjiro, enraged and determined to protect his last remaining family member, begs Giyu to help them gain the ability to defend themselves against demons. He at first wants to decline, but the sadness in Nezuko's eyes and the conviction in Tanjiro's convince him to give them a chance. He He directs them to his old master, the former water Hashira, Urokodaki, and tells them that he can train them to become demon slayers. They listen to the advice and go find Urokodaki, and ask for his guidance and training. Urokodaki is reluctant to train just anyone, but Tanjiro begs for a chance. Along with the determination of her brother, Nezuko also decides to become a demon slayer so that they can protect and fight alongside each other. Seeing the two so determined convinces Urokodaki to take them under his wing and give them the complete Demon Slayer training course. This time, with Nezuko fighting and training by his side, Tanjiro is filled with determination to rid the world of demons and make sure that what happened to his family never happens to anyone else ever again. With Nezuko and Tanjiro training together for years, they develop their skills together and fight in sync with one another. Nezuko, being a more nimble and fast swordsman, is easily able to adapt to the flowing style of water-breathing technique, and is better at using it than Tanjiro, while Tanjiro is more headstrong and mostly focused on defending his sister with his high durability and strength. This leads to the two becoming the perfect support for each other, with Tanjiro taking on a more defensive style, and Nezuko taking on a more offensive style. After passing the final selection Demon Slayer test, the two go on missions together to kill demons that terrorize the world. They fight as an inseparable team, and demons are unable to keep up with their speed and combined fighting style. Meanwhile, both have not forgotten the demon that killed their family, and Tanjiro even remembers their scent. With every demon they fight, he's hopeful that he will eventually sniff out the demon that attacked them that horrible day and get revenge for his family. Eventually, their missions and hunt for the demons would take them to Tokyo City, where, just like in the canon story, Tanjiro would catch the scent of the demon that killed their family. He and Nezuko would chase after the scent, but unlike the last theory, this time Muzan would escape their grasp, leaving the siblings frustrated. Later, Tanjiro and Nezuko meet Lady Tamayo and Yushiro, the two demons free from Muzan's control. While trying to talk to them, they get ambushed by two lower-rank moon demons, who get swiftly wiped out by Nezuko and Tanjiro's superb teamwork. After talking it out with Lady Tamayo and Yushiro, it somewhat convinced the two sibling demon slayers that not all demons are horrible. But regardless, with revenge still partially on the mind and the eradication of all demons being a main motivator for Tanjiro, they keep pushing forward. Eventually, they encounter Inosuke and Zenitsu. Zenitsu would definitely simp even harder for Nezuko now that she's a cute and powerful demon slayer woman. He'd get calmly rejected though, and maybe even scolded by an overprotective Tanjiro. The two team up with Tanjiro and Nezuko to kill the former lower 6 Kyogai. They later join other demon slayers to face off against lower 5 Rui and his demon spider family. Although they're stronger together and put up a much harder fight, they still get absolutely wiped by the spider family and are saved by Giyu and the insect Hashira Shinobu. The two Hashira take the survivors, including Nezuko and Tanjiro, back to the Demon Corps headquarters, where they receive medical care. Tanjiro is excited to meet back up with Giyu and is eager to show his skills as an advanced demon slayer. Giyu is, of course, not really moved by the two, who had almost gotten killed by a demon without his intervention, but he is at least a little impressed by their obvious growth over such a short period of time. He introduces them to the rest of the Hashira, who in turn bring them to meet Kagaya. Kagaya sees potential in them as the key to defeating Muzan, and can also sense their connection to him. He reveals to the two that Muzan is most likely the one who attacked their family that night, and asks for their help in tracking and taking down the father of all demons. While Nezuko is worried about her brother, Tanjiro is more than eager to join the cause. Nezuko joins in, hoping to protect her brother and help him achieve his goal. And with that, the two join forces with the Hashira, in their common goal of taking down Muzan. This last theory shows that the only way for Tanjiro to not die and follow a path somewhat similar to the original timeline is for Nezuko to be alive. There's no way Tanjiro is pushing through to become a demon slayer with a calm mind without his sister there to balance him out. And now, with the Hashira on their side, can Tanjiro and Nezuko come together with the Hashira and gain the skills necessary to defeat all the demons? And just how will the Hashira be training the sibling demon slayers? Well, that's the subject of this other video. Click on this video to see how well the Hashira can bring out the potential in Nezuko and Tanjiro as sibling demon slayers. Go ahead, click it!